So this is the third video that I've put out just to give Coby a voice and let everybody know the truth. The truth that CPS refused to listen to, the truth that the sheriff's office didn't want. Coby's mom killed him. My parents, my family killed him. His blood tests alone show how they poisoned him. And it's sad that even now nobody's investigating anything but me. I'm the only one that's putting everything out there because nobody else wanted to look at it. His own family murdered him, and he did not deserve it. So this is screenshots. You know, everybody wanted to have their opinion on why me and Susie split up. Here's screenshots of me talking to the wife of the guy that she cheated on me with. October 28th, 2015. Gave her my phone number. I need you to call me concerning something important that doesn't need to be said over Messenger. I'm working all night tonight, so it can wait until the kids go to bed. Never heard back. A couple days later, call me anytime. A couple days later, please call me. She finally replied. Yes, I knew about them sleeping together. You know, it was more than once. They were practically having an affair from what I understood. I'm guessing you just found out not too long ago. They would message each other through Messenger so that they had no records of text messages or phone calls. The conversations became inappropriate, and I'm guessing when they were working together. I'm sure that last year when we went over there, they had already had some kind of inappropriate relationship. Maybe not sexual, but something. Because I felt something weird around them, and I asked Lewis, and he blew me off. From what he said, the last time we had sex, from what he said, the last time they had sex was in March, maybe 2 to 4 weeks after I told him I was pregnant. Now, is there anything else you need to know or want me to know? Nope, that'll do it. So yeah, that's why me and Susie split up. I found out she left her phone in the bathroom, and I went in there to take care of business, and she got a messenger, a Facebook Messenger message. I was like, all right, well, I ain't doing nothing. So I looked at it, and when is the next time I'm going to get the best kitty I ever had? He actually used the word kitty. And I replied, And if you know me, I like to use the word I don't know if it started here or if it was before that, but yeah. So there's that. That's the reason that we split up, because while I'm doing all the work and overtime on my days off, working 6-7 days a week, she's bringing another man in the house. And this is the wife of that man that cheated on his wife while she was, a month or less pregnant. So I've been getting records. Everything takes time. And then they don't tell you that you need a birth certificate along with your ID, or they don't tell you that you need an ID. And then you wait the 15 days it takes them to get it to you. And then when you hadn't heard anything, you finally get hold of somebody, and oh no, they couldn't do it because you didn't have a birth certificate. That's cool. Thanks for letting me know. Especially when there's one on file. But it's what I thought. It's worse than I thought, but it's what I knew, and it's something that I've been fighting his whole life. I've said all along she could not control his diet. She just couldn't. She didn't know how. She didn't apply herself. She didn't want to. I'm not sure. But I mean, it just still continues to tell you that she did not care about her son. My parents didn't care about their grandson. They didn't want it to deal with it. Everybody wanted to be friends instead of parents. So a brief kind of thing, and this is where the neglect comes in, and I call it medical neglect. So everybody knows about diabetes, nobody knows about PKU because it's so rare. But if your kid or you is diabetic, you're taking care of somebody that's diabetic, you read their blood sugar, and they need, say 10 units of insulin. You give them one. Is that not neglect? Because you don't see it, you're actually hurting them because on the inside, like organs shut down, like bad things happen. And we all know that about diabetes. PKU is the exact same thing. So, right off the bat, you can do any Google search and find this. You can look at WebMD. I forget where I got these from, but they're, mainstream places. Untreated PKU can lead to irreversible brain damage and marked intellectual disability beginning within the first few months of life. Neurological problems such as seizures and tremors, behavioral, emotional, and social problems in older children and adults, major health and developmental problems. That's what you can get when you don't make sure the diet's taken care of. So I just highlighted a few things. You're welcome to pause and read, and that's throughout the whole thing. You're welcome to zoom in, pause, read, whatever you want. I'm going to read some of the highlights. Because I can't promise this won't take another hour, but this is just more of the same stuff I said, and there's a point at the end. So hopefully you'll stick with me. Children, adolescents, and adults with PKU can display disturbed emotional and behavioral functioning with evidence of a heterogeneous range of phenotypes as summarized in Table 1. However, review of the literature continues to demonstrate that the prevalence and severity of problems correlate strongly with the degree and timing of exposure to elevations in blood Phe level. So basically, bad things happen when it's high. Untreated PKU patients have long been known to present with significant neuropsychiatric disturbance dating back to Falling's initial descriptions of the disease in 1934, where a spectrum of presentations was noted ranging from shy and anxious, irritable, agitated with anger outbursts, through grossly disturbed, psychotic, and catatonic. Further, mid-20th century literature correlated untreated PKU status with severe behavioral disturbance, largely autistic and psychotic spectrum illness, frequently with marked levels of agitation and aggression. These patients often display aggression, self-mutilation, impulsivity, and even psychosis. In 10 previously undiagnosed and 1 previously diagnosed but untreated individuals, this guy identified the most frequent behaviors as aggression, affective symptoms including euphoria, elation, as well as agitation and aberrant motor symptoms, but also noted the marked heterogeneity of presentations including anxiety, delusions, and hallucinations, and dysphoria/depression. So, yeah. There's still a whole lot that they don't know about it because it's so rare. So here comes some more of that good evidence. This is from July of 2017. And again, you're welcome to zoom in and pause. I just blacked out phone numbers because I'm not trying to dox anybody, but it is what it is. So protective order, criminal court, they try to say, or that, he spanks them and trying to get them to drink his milk. And because if you watch my other videos, we went over like starve them for 7 to 10 days, and we didn't want to do that. Formula before food. So we rather just make them. As parents, we decided this. So this is after we've split up. She's moved out right down the road. She texts me, 4:47 p.m. I may call you in a bit. He is absolutely refusing milk. I gave him a few chips and said nothing else until milk. He is currently kicking and crying. So at this point, he's 5. I said, okay, come by when you can. He's refusing and hiding. I spanked, threatened, etc. Apparently, he's only scared of you. A little bit later, I texted back, is he's still not drinking. Yep, and I've spanked him more. So he's doing the same thing I was, because that's what we agreed upon. As sucky as it was, that's what we had to do, because that's how important his diet is, his special formula. He has to have it. Here's some staff notes from the specialist. 5 years old, brought to his clinic by dad for his follow-up. Dad brought him everywhere. And again, you can read everything else. I'm just going to read the highlight stuff. Typically, dad performs blood draws every Tuesday on Coby. However, after months of very low Phe levels, and after the realization that the blood levels are more reflective of patient's intake with mom, I asked dad to start doing levels twice a week, Tuesday and Friday. This way we can see how his levels are after being at both homes. It is clear that they run very low after being with mom and run in the normal range after being with dad. That was back in the day. Like I said, he was 5 at this point. And this is where we lost measurable growth. Dad regularly looks up food data on the website, utilizes Cook for Love recipes, and has ordered a sample kit of Mavelia low-protein foods. Dad says he receives a menu each month from the school and blacks out the items he can't have. There are many items that they don't even count, such as low-Phe fruits and vegetables, yet his levels still run low after being with mom. Dad says he visits the school to have lunch with Coby several times each week to see how things are going, and that Coby's teacher communicates with Dad very well. Patient typical diet is as follows, and Dad can recite the amount of Phe in most items from memory, because I was involved. I love my son. I was involved in his daily life. This is from December of 2016. We discussed in detail that Coby's Phe intake is not consistent based on his fluctuating lab levels. We previously reviewed literature that discussed potential implications of variable Phe levels on behavior and cognitive outcomes, and that information was reviewed today. Dad seems very on board with stabilizing his Phe. However, he feels mom does not show the same consistency, and it's been proven. The above lab results and graph are printed off for mom, as well as his growth charts, which do show slowing growth velocities. I also made it clear that I am available to speak with mom if she has any questions or concerns. His mom never came. So there's a chart. As you can see, anything under a 6 is good. We try to keep it between 3 and 4. So, but anything 6 and under, but you got to have like some kind of Phe. Zeros is not doing any good, because you got to have so much. But that's a chart just based on where he's at my house and where he's at his mom's house. Here's a text message. Coby's getting in trouble at school, February 2nd, 2017. According to Elle, which in my previous video we went over that, Coby drove the buggy from daycare. So my dad used to work like across the street from the daycare. I don't know if he still does or not, I have no idea, but he used to. And apparently my dad went and picked him up this day, and it's fun for him. So after a day like today, he knew about it. Why was he able to do that? This is part of the problem. And this is where he's getting in trouble in school and is not supposed to be doing fun stuff, because that's what else do you do? This is where we're not whooping him every day, because it don't do any good. Susie replied, I had no idea. I just got here. I whooped him and he's in the hallway. I will talk to your dad. Yeah, a lot of good that did. October 2017, I go to see Coby at school. He's not there. I go the next day. He's not there. I text him. Text his mom, is Coby sick? Did he go to the doctor today? She replied, he had diarrhea yesterday and an appointment today. All right, what did the doctor say? At this point, all communication, unless an emergency, needs to go through your attorney. So this is where I took her back to court. And she apparently told him, or started having him see the psychiatrist or whatever in Lufkin. And the only way I found out about it is because Coby's drawing pictures of her at school, just, how kids do. So, cool. So the next day, a couple weeks later, looking at the log, and I had to ask his mom, like, was he short 60 fee yesterday, or do I need to ask your attorney? No, he was not. I will add remaining. And she always had problems not letting me from my phone. He had 28 M&Ms, which is 62 feet. Cool. Later on, November 29th, 2017, if his only punishment at home was not to play video games, why did he play the PS3 with Chris? They would have played Friday the 13th, which I talked about that, but it was updated. These are not issues he's having. These are issues you're having and always have. It's not fair to him or me to be punished by me when he has these issues only when he's with you. He will be punished because using that kind of language and balling up his fist to his teacher is not acceptable by anyone's standards. And then the fact I have to depend on Coby to tell me what he ate shows you're still not taking his diet seriously. This is why I chose to go back to court. So that day, he screamed at a teacher, balled up his fist, and this is a nice elderly, she's now passed away teacher that she was awesome, but he just got mad. He told him not to do something, I believe, and then he's just hollering at her and raising his fist like he's gonna punch her. And he couldn't play video games yet. That's what he did. So this is, I wrote to Danielle because another example, this is January 2018, of where she's not doing any tests at home, and it's still good at my house and not good at her house. So the 22nd was the day we changed custody, and the 28th was the day after we changed custody. Still no results from any tests Susie may have done. Tells me she just isn't doing any. And this is where I just ask if we can take them up here to a local place. I don't have to hold them down for them to draw blood like I've had to in the past. November 12th, 2018. This is Coby texting me from my mom's phone. Hey, it's Coby. Bring the jelly to my mom's. I was wrong. My grandma just told me. Yes, sir. Thanks. I love you. I love you more. See you tomorrow, Daddy. XOXO. I love you, buddy. Like, so horrible. But he's about 7 years old there. Just figuring out how to text. So this is December 9th, 2018. I need the address of the clinic when you get a chance. He's 7 years old, and she don't even know where his clinic is. It's the same place we've gone every time for 7 years. She didn't know the address. Couldn't look it up because she don't even know the name. That's how little she gave a shit. 7 years old, don't know the specialist. All right, May 10th, 2019. School isn't opening till 8 due to the weather. I guess it was raining or something that morning. Muffins are at 8 also at this point. You want to pick him up around 7:30 and take him, and did you make his muffins? So it was the school was doing muffins with mom. All the kids and parents and moms would show up, and they sit down in the lunchroom and have muffins with each other. My stove is out, so I couldn't. I can get him, and we can stop at McDonald's. She didn't tell me that her stove was out. I would have made muffins for him the night before. So my reply is, I really wish you would have said something about your stove being out. I would have made sure to have everything I needed from the grocery store to make some for him. Or you could have went someone else's house and made them, like my parents or her neighbors or her friends. Now he's the odd ball going to muffins with mom and no muffins. So much for inclusion. Because I always wanted him to feel normal as possible. Like, he sees kids sitting down and eating stuff, that he just can't have. So I always made sure that he had something similar, no matter what it was. We're getting breakfast from his favorite place. I believe time with mom is the point. It's called Muffins with Mom. You sit in the cafeteria and eat muffins with your mom, hence the name. Everyone around him is having muffins at Muffins with Mom. Yeah, I'm an asshole. It is what it is. But, it's frustrating because, come on. Except us two, and not everyone likes muffins. It's called inclusion, helping him feel somewhat normal. He loves eating the same thing that everyone else is. Even if it's special, he would have loved his kind of muffins at Muffins with Mom. Yeah. Little things like that. She didn't say no. She just didn't want to make it. She didn't give a shit. December 31st, 2019. This is 3:44 p.m. He's asking to go to your house at 9 a.m. and have his milk there. Told him I would ask you. Or like I have never and will never say that. No, I can't have my kids. Like, no, my kids are always welcome with me, even his siblings. Like, nah, yeah, I got plans. That they're invited. It don't matter, or they get canceled. So just so horrible. Coby hated me like everybody wants you. All right, so this is what we cook. I was on keto, still am for the most part. Um, but Coby, I always let Coby help, just like I help Maddie and Carter. He's getting to where he wants to help too. I just need him to like not grab raw food off the table or off the counter and stuff. But the top, keto, the bottom, PKU. We had pizza that night. He helped me with both of them, or helped us. Like that. That's what we did. These are chocolate chip cookies, his kind of chocolate chip cookies that he can have as much as he wanted to. Then they were good. Here's just sausage. Um, like we were having like sausage and vegetables, like a pan bake or whatever. Zucchini, squash, like good stuff. So was he. He ate the same exact stuff that we had, except special. His sausage is special. But we do that. Apparently, she never did. Here's breakfast for dinner. It was his kind of pancakes, his kind of bacon. Don't get me wrong, it is what it is. But this tastes good. It actually did. And he ate it up because we're all having pancakes and bacon. So is he. So he felt included. He didn't feel like the odd man out. This is us making it. His special stuff. You see the bacon mix back there. We're weighing the chocolate chips so you can have chocolate chip pancakes with the other kids. Like he's involved and having the similar stuff so that he can feel normal. Green eggs and ham. We had to make green eggs and ham for school one day. I cannot remember what I used at this point, but I know the egg yolk is a peach that's just dyed. It may not look the best. I'm not the craftiest person. I'll be the first to admit. But the kid that cannot eat green eggs or regular eggs and ham, he was able to bring green eggs and ham and eat them with the rest of the kids. That's cool. He didn't feel left out. These are sandwiches that I made with his bread, his peanut butter, and regular jelly, so that he could have some, but everybody else can eat them too. So they tasted fine to me. That's why I say mainly on keto. Cause like, this is his first time. He wanted to cook his dinner by himself, and this is in 2018. He's 7, going on 8 years old. This boy, and this is why I wanted him to take charge of his own stuff, because I knew his mom wasn't. So he had watched and helped me so much. He was able to. He wanted chicken spaghetti that night. He weighed everything, measured everything, mixed everything, cooked everything, cut up everything, put it in a bowl. And that's making a patty, like water and powder. Like he did everything at 7 and 8 years old at my house. Not because I'm lazy, but because he had to be able to take charge of it. Like there was no choice in it. His mom. These are his kind of cupcakes we had for his birthday party at school. So that they were special cupcakes that he could have and everybody else can eat too. Inclusion. That's the important thing. Just making them feel normal. Not, ostracizing them from everybody else. All right. We can go all the way down here on the bottom of this. So this is 2020, June 7th, 2020. Coby is 9 years old. Sorry to bother you. This is his mom texting me. But I need to get dress shoes for Coby. What size is he now? 3 going into 4. I answered within 2 minutes. How does mom not know her son's shoe size. Usually it's the opposite. Dad don't know nothing. Mom don't know. And she actually has to text me, but you don't have shoes for him at home to see, like, okay, if he's in a 2, then does he, because I bought everything for him. Anyway. All right. So this is June 12th, 2020. Message Susie, I'd like to take her. We're talking about our vacation leaks, custody stuff. It's like, okay, Daddy. It's me. Hey, buddy, how are you doing? Coby. Nothing. I miss you. Me too. Camp is still canceled, but they're doing stuff online all that week. What? And if you're good, you'll be ungrounded by then. No one is going to Camp Fever, but they're doing stuff on the internet all week. Okay. And ask your mom about the week of July 5th to stay at my house all week. She said yes. Yes. Yay. Stay out of trouble and you'll be able to see your friends from camp. Yes, sir. I love you, buddy. Text me anytime. Okay. I said, I love you. He said, you too. The little emoji. So this is during COVID. He was going to go to camp again, but to be with all the other kids that have PKU as well, but they canceled the in-person. So I took a vacation and made sure that he was with me so that he could go to camp every day. It was a virtual camp. He thoroughly enjoyed it. It was not the same, obviously, but he enjoyed being able to see everybody. All right. So these are medical records after the allegations were made. So, no, my bad. This is when I had to take him to start him on something for public school. Been affecting schoolwork since first grade. Parents notice worsening after remote learning. Coffee has not been effective. Ready to start low dose stimulants, and school is now restarting. And I hated it. I really hated it because I don't want to medicate a kid. Like, you cure cancer later, but we're putting meth in their system to get them to chill. I freaking hate it, but I didn't really have a choice. So September, and this is emailed to his teacher. We were having issues at school, and I messaged her teacher. And again, you can pause and read the whole thing, but I told her, Susie, the issues you were having with him, and his punishment was that he had to sit out by the fire with everyone else instead of playing video games for one day. These 283 sentences into 1,000 here, along with other stuff. What bothers me is the lying is nothing new, yet he continues to do it. This is 4th grade, September of 2020. Like, his lying was bad. This is her reply. And the teacher's reply. Coby does seek attention from his peers, which causes him to yell across the room and embellish his story at times. Yeah. He knows it too. Same day. All right, so Coby's been having stomach issues when he comes from your house for some reason. This is me talking to her, to Susie. It's been happening for a while now, and usually clears up after a day or two here. The reason I'm saying anything is because the school is having issues with him now. He's needing more bathroom breaks. On the other hand, they're not sure if he's lying about it. He's been caught lying several times now about stupid stuff, which is an ongoing issue I thought his medication would help with. 8 other kids said he was looking under the stalls in the bathroom, and when asked by his teacher, he lied. She watched him walk on the wrong side of the stairs and asked him if he did it. He lied. Can you try changing some of his diet and figure out what could be messing with his stomach to include sugary drinks that might help with his behavior? He hasn't been having waffles or sodas here, and that's what stands out on vlog. When he drinks orange juice at school, I've been logging when he has the 2 little cartons. If he has, I've been counting it as free. With that, it's been months since there's been blood test results from your house. The last one was the 8.2 from July 17th. This is September. Can you please start testing regularly again? I've been doing tests once a week and sending them in. As far as sugary items, I have no issues removing them. Food-wise, I can alter some. I haven't changed anything recently to cause any stomach issues. If you go back to the results Danielle sends us, we haven't gotten any from you in some time. You may get with Danielle and the lab to see what the problem is. I noticed it a while ago. As far as the stomach stuff, it's been going on for a while. There was no point in saying anything about it, but the school's bringing it to my attention, so I'm passing it on because it don't matter what we talk about. I can sit here and explain everything, explain problems, but just like, hey, he got in trouble at school today. Like, okay, and that's it. Like, no big deal. They can handle it. He just anyway. So um, because I had all his medicine, brought every and just gave her kind of what he needed for his time with her. I was running late, didn't get him his medicine, or she forgot, I forgot, however it worked out. He didn't get his medicine for the morning. So I ran up to the school. He got his pill, but not before calling somebody stupid and then lying about it. You need to step up on punishment because his lying is getting to be an everyday thing, and a night by the fire may not be the best way to say he's in trouble. September 2020. Like, he's lying, and I can't do anything. If there's no punishment at her house, like, it's not fair. It's not fair to me or him. So this is where she told him to lie. So find out where ISS is and if he can ride the bus. So I called her about that, but I believe that was for the bomb threat. He said he had a bomb in his backpack. Yeah. And this is what he was writing sentences for. So, like I said in another video, here's the actual text messages. How many sentences did he do at your house? So I can take them off his count here. Like, never got a response. That was at 2 o'clock. A week later, hello, and make sure someone will be here to get Coby off the bus Wednesday since we'll be at the hospital. Maddie was being born. How many sentences did he do with you? I asked her again. John accidentally threw all the papers on the table. So honestly, have no clue. I'm going to need milk. So this is where we actually talked to Coby, and Coby finally admitted that he didn't have to write sentences over there. He just couldn't pick what was on the TV in the living room. That was it. So I texted her. I'm going to ask you not to tell my son to lie to me. He's already getting in trouble for lying at school, but to be told by his mother to lie about being grounded and writing sentences is just wrong. I know him and can easily tell when he's trying to lie. It really upsets him when you do that. It's not good for him or anyone else to think it's okay to lie. Guess what? She didn't even respond to it. March 21. Dad reports issues. This is his PCP. I'm bringing him up there because he's still lying and stealing at home. He's not getting all his schoolwork done. He's halfway finishing his chores. History of bipolar mom, which, yeah, nobody talks about. Like, she spent a week in Kingwood Pines for attempted suicide. Nobody wants to talk about that. Patient is also refusing to wipe completely and soiling the pants. Your dad has tried discipline without improvement. Timeout, staring at the wall. So I'm taking him to the doctor, trying to get him help because, like, this is ongoing. He's still on the low dose meth, but it ain't happening. March of 21. Let's see. Here's Coby's levels today. Saturday, as soon as he walked in my house, 8.8. Low tyrosine, which means he ain't drinking all his milk. Tuesday, 5.9. Tyrosine is 2.2, which means he's eating right, and he's drinking all his milk. Each formula pouch gives him 20 grams of amino acids, and if he misses even one, it can make his body dip into his own protein stores to release amino acids that he can't get from food, which also release Phe into his bloodstream, making his levels go up. While we can't measure exactly how much of his Phe Kuvan converts into tyrosine, we know it does convert some. So it's there. Like, he's not drinking his milk, his formula, so it's making his Phe go up. Or she's like... So my reply to her was, perfect example when he comes to our house compared to when he leaves. B went down and tyrosine went up. When it comes to development and growth, when does it become negligence? Like you, I want what's best for him, and it's becoming crystal clear that she has given up even trying. The medication and trouble he gets in could very well be caused by his numbers, right? What kind of quality of life is he having if he's not going to be developing properly? On Thursday, February 25th, I gave her a case of 30 low flex, which is his pouches, his formula. I was supposed to give it to her on Wednesday when I dropped him off. I asked her if she had enough to last till the next day, or if I needed to get Aaron to bring some by that night since I was headed into work. She said she had 2 left, which would be enough until the next morning when I could bring it by after work. On Wednesday, when I dropped him off, she only gives dinner time formula. On days I get him or have him, he gets all 3 from me. Going through the calendar, she should be down to her last one and asking for more. So far, nothing. I can't tell you the last time she asked for Kuvan after Christmas. I get it filled every month and currently have 2.5 boxes here. So he wasn't getting his milk. He wasn't getting his Kuvan, which is it's a newer drug. I mean, it's probably 10 years old now, or maybe more. But back then it was kind of new. That might help. It really didn't. Not for him. 5, 10, 21. All right. So in the previous video, you remember how I was like, hey, we need to have an appointment just for mom because it's getting to be too much to go over the phone with her. So Coby's been having home pee levels drawn 2 to 3 times weekly to better understand his fluctuating pee levels. The level show rises when he's at his mom's house to 8 to 10 and falls when he returns to his dad's house 5 to 6 because that's how it goes. The mother suspects Coby sneaking food is a possible reason for the rises in fee at her house. She reports finding wrappers in his bedroom for possible higher fee items and a recent incident with possible missing air fryer chicken nuggets. Coby denies taking any chicken nuggets. Yeah. Mother reports, but then I don't know because he's always freaking lying. Like I don't know. Mother reports she recently installed security cameras in the kitchen to determine if Coby is sneaking food. Coby discussed he would like to find low-fee alternatives for gummy bears, milkshakes, all kinds of stuff. Like, and we do, and we did. So this is May 2021. She's asking me again, do you have the exact address for the League City doctor's office? Because this is her special appointment just for him. I give it to her again. Like, she still don't know. The boy's like going on 10 years old, and you don't even know where the office is. They've never moved. They are still there to this day. So this is where they talked about weighing everything, getting everything right, and like taking care of his diet. Like, let's actually weigh stuff. So when we get home, when he gets back after the appointment, which one I asked her, which one did he have? And next I'll show you pictures. The one on the left, I specifically ordered small. The red isn't small, it's kid size. It obviously wasn't weighed. All right, so here's a picture of the small at 75.4 milligrams or grams, ounces, whatever it is. The food weighs 75. All right, out of the white package, small fry when you order. She logged the 39.3 value, and this is just because I went to McDonald's and ordered one of each, and then brought them home and weighed them, and you see the difference. He ate the white one, but got this one, so she was shorting them. He was just fooling with the log to try to make it look like I'm doing something. So a week later, these are his results on like 5/18. Supposed to be less than 6. 10.4. 5/25. 11.9. 6'5", 10.5. 6'8", 8.1. 6'12", 8.8. 6'16", 9.5. 6'18", 8.3. 6'19", 11.5. He leaves my house and he's already back up to the next day at her mom's. 10.4 as soon as he walks in the door. 15.7. All right. So we'll look at this one. This is the important one here. This is the highest his blood pH level has ever been. 15.7. This is after 2-3 days with his mom. At this point, if you listen to my parents, this boy has bruises all over his body, including his face. At this time, because I dropped him off on the 23rd. I was supposed to pick him back up on the 28th. Or the 29th. I apologize. That's Saturday. Sunday. That's Sunday. So on 6/27, somebody sat down with him, pricked his finger, wiped his finger off with the alcohol pad, pricked his finger, filled in 5 little blood dots on the test, put a Band-Aid on him. And they didn't notice anything, because that was always my question. If I drop him off on Wednesday, broad daylight, to his mom, and there's not a mark on him, like nothing, she would have like, if he's got bite marks on his face, or like they said, is ridiculous. There wasn't anything there Friday when they tested him, because he sat right there. And it takes several minutes. Like, we talk to him and you just, get through it. Nobody noticed it. Highest level ever. And guess what he had the day before? This is also the first time he's ever had a full-size candy bar. Never in his life. That's 113 milligrams of feed. If he can only eat like 300, 365, whatever his diet was at that time, because we have to adjust it, that's a third of what he can eat today. And the day before, Susie gives him this. And I asked CPS about that. This is the last day that she logged anything on. This is how much fiat. This is the last day that she logged anything. So, June 13th. This is Coby coming from his mama's house, covered in bug bites. Covered. And it's been progressively getting worse. That's why, like, the week before, he had a few bug bites, like cool, okay, kid thing. He's getting ate up. June 13th. Something's going on. This is not the original M, but the new M, texting Susie, asking about all these bug bites. Talking about chiggers, fleas, like bed bugs. Like, what is going on here? Check your houses. Well, we hang out on the back patio, nobody else, I don't know then. I know we'll keep an eye out, but look at his bites. Poor dude went to bed covered head to toe in medicine. So I wanted to take him to the doctor just to see, because different bugs, do different things, maybe I don't know. And I talked about this in one of my other videos. If you haven't seen the other 2 videos, please watch them. Had to do a teledoc thing because they couldn't get us in. It was PCP. So I was like, that's fine. I just need somebody. Um, uh, sorry, I'm having to Zoom and it's the whole thing. So this is where, for my phone, this is my receipt showing that I called Doctor on Demand, did the little video purpose or video chat thing, insect biker stings, more than 5 days, bites, skin rashes, bumps. Like I did that. They just said put hydrocortisone on it. July 8th, 2021 was the first time he saw the doctor regarding quote unquote abuse. And October 4th, 2021, everything's good. He needs a refill on his ADHD medicine. Taking 27 milligram tablet, no side effects, no sleep issues, appetite's good. He is homeschooled without any issues. Okay, so that explains something there. He failed. He had to retake the 5th grade. Well, we'll get to that here in a second. But he was homeschooled first. See, I got some of these backwards. I apologize. But August 18th, I email my lawyer's office. I just spoke with Detective Lee Rogers looking for an update to their investigation as we've had to beg CPS to do their job. He stated it has been sent to the DA's office. When asked why they didn't speak to any other witnesses or at least come to the quote-unquote crime scene at the house, he advised they declined and just left everything in the DA's hands. No investigation. Begging CPS. So Sabrina Robles was one of the original, one of the caseworkers and everything. Like, so with Coby's diet, there's a federal program that if a school gets federal funding, then they have to offer him a meal of his low protein food. So I talked to the school. I offered to come up there and show him how to do it and like make his powdered beef into absolutely anything. You have tacos, hamburgers, like anything that we're having, you can make it happen with his beef, chicken, bacon, like everything. But found out that Susie just didn't want to help deal with it. So let him be included in having the same stuff that the other kids eat. So she just started sending us lunch. Instead of giving him a low protein lunch that looks like everybody else's, she sends him to school with garbage. No idea what it was because again she stopped logging stuff altogether. At the bottom, like she said in the protective order hearing, it was easier for me to take care of my son even when I worked. Well, she said that it was just easier for me because she always had to work. I worked over 80 hours a week. She worked 40. But it was easier for me to take care of him. Yeah. She said that. July 18th, 22, 11-year-old, well child check. He's in public school now, performs well, hasn't seen a dentist in the last 12 months, no other mental health concerns, brought in by his mother. Just keep that in mind. 9/22. 9/22 comes in for ADHD medication. Patient is currently taking 37 milligrams and it is not effective at all. When was that? Let me go back a little bit. Let's back it up just to hear it, just so I can remind everybody. Oh yeah. Come on, work with me. Here's right now. 10/4/21. No side effects. Everything's gone. So what happened between 10/4/21? Oh, 10/4. I'm just kind of figuring this out myself. 4/21. The counting. Wait. Well, what are we doing here? Why is it not playing? 10/4/21. Next time we go 7/18/22. 7/18/22. Remember that. 7. Everything's good. Hadn't seen a dentist. Well child check. 7/18/22. 9/22/22. 2 months later. Patient is currently in ISS for the third time this year for hitting another student. Grandparent, oh, my mom brought him in this time. Grandparent states that, which it says that Susie brought him in, his mom, but grandmother states that he has also hit her at home and twisted her arm. Patient is unable to focus at school. He throws things and tips his chair until he falls. He is talkative and argumentative. She reports that he is angry and belligerent. Patient states that it is fun to fight people and he likes to fight. Patient has been in counseling for the last 15 months with no improvement. He was at the Children's Haven. She thinks they diagnosed with IED and PTSD. They gave him no medicine for it, I guess. They attempted to get him to inpatient psych and was told that they would not take him due to his dietary restrictions from having PKU. He is currently in counseling at Serenity House, but states that it has not helped. Grandmother states that the behavior is getting worse. Behavior worsened after he confessed that his father was abusive. Yeah. So back to the other, remember, like, my parents only had him on the weekends, right? This is 2 months after his mom brought him in and everything was fine. Why all of a sudden the change? And if he was diagnosed with these other things, why are they not treating it? And if I guarantee they only talked to one inpatient psych facility. If I had to drive him to California, I freaking hate California. We'd be going to California to get him somewhere where he could get the help he needed. But he didn't need it. That's the whole thing. They manipulated him and talked him into thinking that he's getting abused by doing push-ups, 10 push-ups. So another March 22. Maybe I'm backwards here. Behavioral health follow-up. Everything's stable. Everything's good. They just need refills for his ADHD medicine. Yeah. So everything's good. Everything, yeah, he's fine. At some point, this is 10/18/22. He takes 36 milligrams of one kind of meth. Nope, same meth. And then another 10 milligram when he gets home from school. They increased the morning dose because it seemed to be more effective, less anger. So they doubled it. I said tripled. They doubled it, including some after school. That's zombifying them, even at home, because they couldn't control them. Grandma brings them in on April 11th, 23. Reports that patient is stable on current medication, doing well in school. April 23. October 23. Just need refills. Everything's working good. No problem. Again, brought in by his grandmother. 10/31/23. Coby has been sending our clinic, he's 12 years old now, been sending our clinic levels at least once a month since we last saw him, with levels ranging from 6 to 10. He's currently under full custody of his mother, and grandparents take care of him on the weekends. He is in the 6th grade and joined student council and started playing the saxophone. He's still hating his formula. This is where his mom and my dad took him and visit. He's not doing great in school, but specific grades were not discussed. History of failed repeated grades, yes, 5th grade. So they homeschooled him for 5th grade, and he failed. He failed homeschool. All right. So the box on top, we're going to go more in depth in that here in a minute. But I'm going to read the bottom here. Coby Dale Brewer is a 13-year-old male with poorly controlled classic phenylketonuria. Due to elevated Phe levels of 11.7 in July 23 and 1 level in the goal range in 2 to 6 in the past 18 months, he's considered to have failed other therapies. Coby verbalized a strong willingness to improve his Phe levels, which makes him an ideal candidate for this other new medicine that they've come out with. So this is that chart. All the stuff said that they were still supposed to be doing weekly tests, and that you do weekly tests because the tests reflect the last 3 or 4 days of intake. Every 3 or 4 days, yeah, it can get hectic for people, but look at his numbers. They would be happy with under 6. The state recommends under 4. But look at them. I wish you could see me on video right now, because look at them. And then let's look at the frequency of it. 1 test for the entire month of October 22. Nothing for November, December. Oh, let's get back on it for January. But we ain't doing anything in February. Only 1 at the end of March, and another one the following week. But we're going to skip May and June. We're going to knock out 2 in July. We're going to knock out 2 in August. 1 in September. We're not going to deal with October, November, or December. We're just going to skip those all together. So, I don't know. Obviously, at least when I had him, he was only messed up half the time. Like, I was able to get his levels back down to not be hurtful to him. But this is the life he's lived. Now, October 8th, 2024. Accompanied by his mother for follow-up on ADHD medicine. Takes Concerta 36 milligram in the morning, so they gave him a whole different one, which that wasn't even in there. And still the same 10 milligram of meth in the afternoon, after school. Medication effective, no side effects or concerns. Just ongoing issues with allergies. That was October of 24. That was the last time he saw his PCP. He was supposed to see his specialist October of this year of 24 as well. Apparently he did not. So when does it become neglect? Because I asked the questions. I asked Danielle Um, let me hang fire off. So I sent Danielle an email, and I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to read it. So, I'm wondering if I could schedule a time to speak with you and or Dr. Ray. If it's easier, you can copy and paste the following questions and answer them there. I need you to understand that the entire time I have stated that there was never any abuse. I would not abuse them. I even stopped spanking them long before any of this because it stopped working. That is also why no protective order or restraining order was ever issued and why the charges were ultimately dismissed. They held them over my head for 3.5 years, so if I contacted them, they could charge me with tampering with the witness. You know and documented how much I cared for him and understood his diet. He was manipulated by my parents and his mother, the same people I fought his entire life to get his diet under control, and not one office that had the responsibility to investigate actually investigated. They filled out forms and did the bare minimum to say they did their jobs. So, where the lawyer says you keep your mouth shut. I couldn't say anything for 3.5 years. I couldn't put anything public. I couldn't reach out. I couldn't do anything. Tampering with the witness. So, yeah. So these are the questions I asked. What was the recommended home blood test schedule? Just to verify, because everything in the record said once a week. Was he still supposed to be seeing you every 6 months? Why the missed appointments? There was a span that he didn't go for 18 months. If the tests continued to come back high, why were they not as frequent? No reported results for months at a time. Any reason that months at a time no tests were completed? Like maybe I'm just missing something. Something wasn't included in his records. If Coby was wanting to better himself on the diets, what steps were discussed to make it happen? Why would he be stealing food? Stop you right there. Because she was sending him to bed, filling his belly up with Kit Kat, so that he would get his fee, but he's not getting full. Kids do stupid shit all the time. And if you give a kid a Kit Kat for dinner, he's going to be hungry in a couple hours. But that's what she did. And I have the logs to prove it. There's like little miniature Kit Kats too, because that's all he could have. You could just have one bite of a candy bar. You couldn't have all the rest of that stuff. Is there a chance that the continued high levels would cause him to act out, have hallucinations, and ultimately kill himself? That question right there is why I don't believe I'm going to hear back from them, because their legal department has them circling the wagons. Because I asked years ago, when does it become neglect? It's neglect. She poisoned him with protein, and the blood test proved it. I also said that the emails and phone call notes aren't included in the records. How will I be able to get a record of those as well? Because she sent me all of those the results that I showed, and I haven't gotten anything. So there was no reason for any of this. No reason for any of it. I will go to my grave, whether it's tonight or decades from now, knowing that I didn't abuse my son. Nobody in my household abused my son. He did what any 9 or 10-year-old would do. He chose the fun parent, the one where he never got in trouble, instead of us being a united front to help raise together a decent human being. They told him to lie. I honestly, I don't know if he did something to himself, because that's a side effect of high feet, or if somebody on that side did something to him. I honestly don't know, but I know it didn't happen in my house. Sheriff's office didn't want to investigate. DA didn't want to investigate. You can indict a cheese sandwich. Look that saying up. You can indict a sandwich. The judge said that 50 years ago because it's true. Still an hour long. When I get the rest of the records, I'll make another video. Autopsy hasn't come back yet. His cell phone hasn't been unlocked yet. Hell, the police department hasn't even requested any of his records. These records I'm showing you, they haven't even requested them. Like the detective said they were going to do. Not closed until they get the autopsy back. We won't go to the DA's office until they get the autopsy back. I will say, I wish I'd have put this in here. So when I spoke to Lieutenant at the PD again today, just looking for an update, and I'm gonna send him this to you. Send this to him tomorrow. I'll add this in the video. So he corrected me. He wasn't, because I said he was off duty, and when they stopped Coby, stopped Mark, because Coby was hanging out the window. He said he wasn't off duty. He was in an unmarked vehicle, but he was not off duty. And I said, okay, that's fine. Well, I got the text messages on that one too. Susie, on April 15th, 2019, Coby's 8 years old, hanging out the window. She texted me, can you find out who stopped Mark yesterday? Coby said he was told he had to be in a car seat. I need to educate someone. Coby told me. So, yeah. Susie said, I know I looked up the law, but I'm going to start using it again. All I know is he was in an unmarked car and it was Polk County Sheriff. Description of the guy in the car. I'm trying to get that from Mark. I think he's at work. I said, let me know so I can correct some folks. As long as the belt fits him, he doesn't need one. And he's right. He's 8 years old and taller than, 4'9" tall. He was not required to be in a car seat anymore. So it's like, okay. And because people at the sheriff's office have told, rape victims, that child rape victims, that they have to have the baby before they can, file charges on the rapist. I know not everybody at the sheriff's office is as educated as they should be. So, he's about 5'11", brown hair, drove a 2013 to 2016 Chevy Silverado. White truck. Did he say why he was stopped to begin with? And marked or unmarked? I'm trying to get all of this. And never got an answer with that. Talking about field trip. That was April 15th. April 17th, happened to be Taser school. Pretty sure it was Taser school at the sheriff's office. So I just, asked. Or not real sure how that happened, but we got into the conversation of it, and it happened to be the lieutenant now. I texted Susie, found the detective that stopped Mark. According to him, he saw on several occasions that Coby was hanging out of the window up to his chest and felt compelled to stop him. He agrees that he didn't need a car seat, but he should have been buckled up and inside the vehicle. It wasn't just his arm. Did he say why he told Mark he had to have a car seat and threatened to take Coby to jail? Mark stated he only had his hand out the window. See, people lie. People freaking lie. Susie's still saying, since he was an actual cop, I feel better. I won't let him ride with Mark anymore, but seriously doubt he'd let Coby hang out the window. So the cop that stopped him is a liar. But, I said he was upset that Mark allowed Coby to hang out of the window like that. He was correct when he said he could arrest him, Mark, not only for Coby being unbuckled, but as far as child endangerment. Mark's a good kid, but just like if it was me driving around, it had to be viewed as extreme to be stopped by a cop on his day off. He agreed. So that was a text message conversation about that. So if I said anything inaccurate regarding that, that he was on his day off or just an unmarked car. Hey, my bad. The fact is that it still happened. Mark said it was just, he just had his hand out the window. My son's hanging out the truck up to his chest. But, people lie. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Do you need a 100%?
Just wanted to clarify that, because we had to have this whole discussion today out in the hallway for whatever reason. I'd also requested all the public records from anything relating to Coby or me, from the PD and the sheriff's office, just to get a better idea. Because again, nobody's doing any of this investigation to get a full picture of it. They just want to zoom in and, yeah, he might have shot himself. Oh, he did shoot himself. That's what they said. That's what we're going to go with. And he might have. My question is why? There are so many questions of this that if I wasn't medicated, I wouldn't be functioning. Thanks for the prayers. Keep them coming. Cleaned up his grave yesterday. All the flowers, the arrangements and stuff are just brown and ugly. Go out there every day. I'll sit and watch a show on weekends, or if I ain't got nothing else going on, I'll watch a movie. Kind of like we used to. Every day. Can't say the same anybody else.
I still see you in the places we would go, like your face is painted on the walls. I've been trying to forget all the moments that we spent, 'cause now I do it on my own. Oh, you and I were like this summer, but now it's winter here on my own. If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would've given anything to say goodbye. If I would've known. If I would've known. Oh, I remember how we would laugh all the time, but now you're not around. And I'm just trying to find something else to fill the empty spaces you left behind. But nothing ever seems to work. I've been thinking about the things that you used to say, even not around. You're in my head every day, but it's fine, I don't mind. I promise I'll be okay. If I would've known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would've made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would've given anything to say goodbye. If I would've known.